This is as bad as it can get. Catastrophic flooding leaves trail of destruction in western Alaska. Officials knew for years about the flood risk in rural Alaska, but nothing has been done. And now 1,500 people driven from homes after Typhoon Halong battles Alaska. Indigenous villages in Alaska face this absolute devastation. The pictures and videos that you're going to see in this video are absolutely heartbreaking. Storms and flooding have been devastating to Western Alaska. But one thing people say is about the people in this region and in all of Alaska is their resilience and determination is unrivaled. People are deeply connected to their lands. They are committed to maintaining their cultural identity and their connection to the places they've called home for thousands of years. One of the most significant airlifts in Alaska history was underway today to move thousands of people from coastal villages ravaged by high surf and strong winds from their destroyed homes, destroyed livelihood with an unknown future and a lot of uncertainty. So the videos that you're about to see, keep in mind, these are people's homes. This was people's livelihood. So let's see what happened. Hey everyone, we have to talk about Alaska today because this is unprecedented what is happening there, and we're getting more and more picture in by the hour. Right now, Alaska is airlifting hundreds from coastal villages that are completely devastated by flooding. And what flooding? Tsunami or what? Where is this coming from? No, this is one of the most significant airlifts in Alaskan history. These villages have been ravaged by high surf and strong winds from a typhoon, the remnants of Typhoon Halong. And that happened last weekend, and now it's still wreaking havoc, and it's really, really bad, guys. That's why I want to tell you about this. The storm has brought record water levels to two low-lying communities, and it has really, we have to say, washed away the homes, and some with people inside. Can you imagine that? This is absolutely terrifying. What a horror show. And then makeshift shelters were quickly established, and they swelled to about 1,500 people. This is a very remote part of Alaska. It's more in the western part of Alaska, and it's an extraordinary number, 1,500 in this sparsely populated region, where community are normally only reachable by air and or water. So getting help in there when your airport is flooded, that's not really great. So a spokesperson for the Alaska Division of Homeland Security and Emergency Management has spoken to the news today and said that one person was rescued and two remained missing after a home was washed out to sea in cold waters, in rough elements. This is an absolute nightmare, guys. So they say there were homes washed out to sea, and unfortunately there was one home which was occupied and 3 people were washed out. Thankfully, that home seems to have held up, and that's the most devastating impact. They say, but we have communities all along the coast of Alaska that have been impacted by this as well. And you see this terrifying a scenery. If you look at this aerial picture, it has been provided by the Alaska National Guard rescue personnel. This is Kipnuk, Alaska. On Monday, this is like they tried to conduct a search and rescue in this area. It's completely covered by waters, and they were now bringing roughly 300 evacuees to Anchorage today, about 500 miles, that's 500 miles away from the battered coastline villages. Some evacuees they had to bring to temporary shelters that is set up at the Alaska Airlines Center, also in an arena in Anchorage. And the remoteness and the scale of the destruction created challenges for getting resources in place, as you can imagine. The damage assessments have been somewhat trickling in as first responders have shifted from initial search and rescue operation to trying to stabilize and restore basic services. That's hard enough. the storm struck the region on Saturday evening, and by Sunday morning, the Alaska National Guard and the Alaska State Troopers launched aircraft to get into the communities and perform rescues. So they were literally just plucking people off of roofs. They're going into homes, helping people wade out of the water and lifting them in baskets and getting them to safety. The communities of Kipnuk and Kipnuk, that's near the Bering Sea, they saw record water levels of more than 6 feet above the normal tide. So you can somewhat call that a tsunami. And some homes, quite a few homes, cannot be reoccupied even with emergency repairs. They're beyond repair, and others may not be livable by winter, and winter's coming, it's cold, right? So forecasters say rain and snow is possible in the region this weekend already, with average temperatures will soon be below freezing. So they said that their immediate focus was to make people safe, warm, but the damage to many homes is severe, and the community leadership is instructing residents not to re-enter homes due to safety concerns. So now people are in shelters and hotel rooms, in rescue shelters. It is not known what's happening to these communities during the winter because you can't rebuild so quickly. So these people might be displaced from their homes and their community for quite a while. So this is really a crisis that is unfolding in Southwest Alaska. We have a lot of rain and wind in the forecast for today, exactly for that area where we have the most devastation. So that's why the officials are really scrambling to find shelter for all these 1,500 people that were flown out today. So the numbers that we have is at least one person was lost and 2 are still missing. And officials say, especially in Kipnuk, the situation is catastrophic. Mark Roberts, he's the incident commander with the State Emergency Management Division, has told in a news conference just now, he said, we're doing everything we can to continue to give support to that community, but it is as bad as you can think. And a heartbreaking moment is the story of Brea Paul of Kipnuk, who said in a text message that she had seen about 20 homes floating away through the moonlight on Saturday night. She said some houses would blink their phone lights at us like they were asking for help, but we couldn't even do anything. And then the following morning, she has recorded a video of a house submerged nearly to its roofline as it floated past their own home. And of course, the residents say it's so hard to say goodbye to our community members when we're not knowing when we get to see each other again. And I fear, like I said, this is going to be a long, long time. Officials say there's a long road to recovery ahead. So if they're trying to rebuild, most building materials would need to be brought in right away because there's little time left before winter. So let's hope for the best, guys. I will keep you updated, but there's so much more going on in the world. So check the videos in the end screen, hype and like this video, guys. If you're new here, welcome. Please subscribe, join our great community. So guys, thank you for your overwhelming support. I'm really, really grateful for that. For your coffee, if you want to fill me up with coffee, check the link in the description, buymeacoffee.com/silky. Thanks for you supers. Thanks for being here. And I see you in the next one. If you click here, this is really, really interesting. Stay safe. Bye-bye.